Yeah, it's just buffering to YouTube. Yeah, we're good. We're live.
Woohoo!
And 3 viewers already. Kind of very excited
Wow.
about it. I know, right? So as you know, as an operator, I'm going to be monitoring the chat and the stream quality. So just sit back, relax, guys. Enjoy the stream. We're going to go live in about maybe 2 minutes or so. I just want to get people in the chat and make sure that everybody's there. And guys in the chat, welcome to Mecha Pew Pew episode 00. We're testing some stuff out. I think it's fun. I think we're beyond testing now. I think we're just like diving.
Yeah, that's it. It's just the content's gonna be more like free than structured, I guess. It's gonna shoot the shit.
Shoot the shit. I think that's gonna be the thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Keep it cash.
Keep it cash. Keep it casual. Yeah. Oh man, I just hope nothing happens up, man, because I'm like, I am so happy that we've been working so hard for this show for a bit now, and I really can't wait to.
But it was ideal.
I remember it being like just like literally a pipe dream, because I think I was talking with you, John, about it, and I was like, hey, it would be cool if we do kind of like a casual kind of talk, and then you're like, I didn't know you were gonna like go into it. I was just like thoroughly like, hey, you think he's gonna be onto it?
Yeah, that's it. But I don't know, like, okay, so the problem is that when you chat, the emotion behind the screen is not always there. I always try to put like a lot of emoticons just to convey an emotion, but like maybe I was just sure. Maybe that's what it sounded like, but in fact I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, there's some people here. Oh, Danny is here. No, it is Dio. What's up, Aura? Oh my god. We got people coming in from both Twitch and YouTube. I think, give it another minute, guys. Just like rolling everybody in. I'm gonna get the timer in soon in the next run. I didn't know that there was limitations to it, so that was my bad. But John, if you are ready, and guys, if you guys are ready, we can go live.
Here I thought you were pro.
I'm no pro whatsoever, man. I'm just a guy. Just some guy doing my thing, All right, I'm just taking a sip of my beer first, but here we go. Hey, what's up, guys?
Evening, guys. How's it going? Welcome to Mecha Pew Pew. I'm your host, Jonathan, and I'm accompanied with my co-host, operator, Mecha.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ariel from Mecha. I will be the operator for tonight's episode. By that, I mean I'm going to be that guy that's like pulling the strings in the background, but making sure that everybody, that's asking questions or have any opinions or comments to the show are heard. I think it is important for the show to have a fluidity of conversation between both guests, host, and audience, and that's been kind of like a driving force for me, especially with my shows, and I wanted to bring it to this show, which is not an Mecha live show whatsoever. This is a collaboration with several friends, mainly, obviously with John here, Jonathan from MSMN, and joining us tonight, very cool guys that we've had a pleasure of like been chatting with the last while. We have Quinn and Nate here, so welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, how are you guys? How have you been? What's new in the Gunpla world with you? Start with Nate.
Oh, in just building during the quarantine, but it's cool.
Yeah, I assume the quarantine has been good for everyone, right? Like, sorry, let me rephrase that.
And that's how we end episode 00. Guys, thank you for coming in. We will catch you next time.
I think the quarantine has been amazing for the hobby because more people having more time to build, having more time to think about the planning their next builds and stuff like that. Me trying to catch up on my
your builds, your anime, like what's
exactly.
So and Quinn, how about you? What have you been up to the last couple of days, man?
I have mostly been painting. That's what I've been doing. My building days are done for this week, and I'm working on final projects, trying to wrap stuff up, and watching a lot of anime. Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
Actually, John, for those guys who might not know our guest tonight, do you guys mind saying a couple of lines, kind of like give a context of who you are? Why do you like Mecha and that hobby? Let's start with let's see. There's so many choices. Oh my god. Let's go with Nate. Nate, let's start with you. Why don't you do a quick intro for our audience tonight?
Cool. Hey everyone, I'm Nate. I'm a Gunpla builder from Montreal. I've been building Gunpla for quite a long time now, maybe like 10, 15 years. I can't even keep track. But I enjoy kit bashing, customizing, splash building, painting, all aspects of this wonderful hobby.
Oh, that is great. And what do you have currently on your workbench?
I am building a sort of like a high grade X SD.
I think I've seen it. I think it's closer to an SD.
Yeah, SD. I don't know if you can see on my socials later, but I'm building like a little Faz. The
Faz?
SG Faz. Yeah.
Oh, right. I did see that. Like, how's that coming along, man?
Oh, it's good. It's good. A lot more scratch building than I thought initially. But that's fun, man. It's fun. It's we're working with a lot of flat plate here.
Good.
Right on. Okay.
And you, Quinn? Tell us more.
Hello, I'm Quinn. I am actually relatively new to Gundam and Mecha. I've been doing it for the past 2 or 3 years. I have previously done a lot of Warhammer and done a lot of other modeling in that regard. Been doing that for more than a decade. So I've got lots of skills in painting and sort of customizing in that regard.
Right.
As far as Gunpla goes, yeah, it's a new thing to me, and it is fantastic. I love working at a larger scale. Really good.
Awesome. And that's someone was asking, where's Nico and what's your handle? I got some questions here from Manny. Again, Manny from New York. Shout out to you, my friend. Our roundtable for Mecha Pew Pew is kind of interesting because from our perspective and concept, John, and you could chime in anytime on that, is like we want to bring into the conversation many aspects of our friends in. As you know, Nico, again, close friends of ours. Nico, Mecha Painter, Simon Lamb. Everybody also from the US. We have, Chris Pabs. We have Gio. We have Tim Harkins. Everybody else, but we want to diversify, obviously, our guests. And we want to make it interesting because we have different skill sets and levels of I guess hobby. I don't know, involvement or hobby.
Yeah, I think it's also a different point of view in the hobby, right? We approach it in all different ways, and the thing is, we've been talking about it. We talk about it every day for hours and hours and hours, and then in chat and just like having a private conversation. I thought that bringing this conversation to publicly might be a good idea, and where like the audience can chime in and like give their opinion and their point of view also, which is
right.
What's the point?
And tonight, I was kind of curious, and again, very, very almost kind of, I wouldn't say last minute, but it was definitely a short time. We had a topic in mind. Jonathan and I were talking earlier on about like, hey, so our topic tonight is, so 5 Mecha walks into a bar. That was kind of our handle for tonight. And by that, I mean, what I told our guests tonight, both Nate and Quinn, kind of like, hey guys, select 5 Mecha to talk about. Zero context, shotgun approach.
I think it's the best format. The best format, really. Like we come in and like we said at the beginning, we wanted to have fluidity. So 5 Mecha, go 5 minutes, bring it in.
Oh, and Manny too. We gotta. Manny, of course, you're a builder. I want you to be in the show at some point. We're gonna have a whole bunch of arrays of guests, guys. The show is gonna be multi-topic, ever-changing, new news and former series talks. Lots of conversation that way. Okay, which 5 and who is drunk? I
don't know.
So I know, right? Like just kind of start shagging it back. Also, this is kind of a test to see how we are doing with our streams because, again, this is a new platform that we're using. To us, it looks fine, but I think there might be some obvious lag that's happening. So we do apologize about that. Hopefully fix it before the next couple episodes. But with multi-streaming like this, multi-platform, there will be some hurdles that we're still kind of trying to work around with. But you know what? I was talking to John about this, that if we don't jump into the fire now we're never gonna jump into it. We might as well do it now, learn from what we can, and see how far we go. So, guys,
What was the expression?
welcome.
What was the expression I was going for? Like the cannonball instead of like the tippy toe dipping in the pool. Because just we're going in and we're gonna feel the water and we're gonna make it happen.
Exactly. So go knee deep in and just kind of raw dog it and see how far we get. But anyways, guys, let's talk mecha. I know that Nate, you've been into the mecha scene for quite some time. And Quinn being, I wouldn't say relatively new. I mean, you've been around, but like in contrast to most people, you consider yourself still kind of, getting familiarized and getting more into it. Let's start with a question. Like, what got you guys into mecha? Let's start with Quinn. What got you into the mecha genre?
So what got me into it actually is I have been lucky enough to work in a bunch of game stores throughout my life. And it is something that we started carrying. So I knew nothing about Gunpla or mecha really before the product. So I started with the model kits and sort of went on from there. Saw it being built. And believe me, coming from Warhammer, building a Bandai kit is next level experience. It is like a feat of engineering and beautifully crafted, just fantasticness. So anyone out there who has not yet built a kit, probably not a few of you, try it. It's really, really fun.
Nice. How about you, Nate? What about you? What got you into the mecha scene?
Growing up, I was always watching like mecha anime. I mean, there was anime that aired in China when I was younger, but there was also like Transformers and GoBots and all those old retro like TV shows. But then eventually I was watching Gundam Seed when I was in high school here in Canada, and eventually through peer pressure and friends went just dove head deep into building Gunpla and haven't really stopped since.
Nice.
That's great.
John, do you remember your first mecha experience?
Well, yes and no. I think like growing up in North America, I think everybody grew up with what was it, like with Wing and everything. But I think I had a different experience where it came with like I think the original Gundam, Zeta Gundam, and then after I grew up with the UC. And then Seed came along, and then Seed was just like exaggerated Japanese animation, and that actually drove me. But I think at the core, I think my father has always been a modeler / fan of Grandizer. So I think that's what is like the stem, the root of all my obsessions, right? Is Grandizer that just evolved into a more mechanical, less than super robot. Right. And that's probably how I started. Like, and it's just like being a fanatic of all modeling and maybe like getting my hands on to something that just drove me to it.
Nice.
What about you, Ariel? Tell me more. How did it start?
How did you start, Ariel?
I guess I'm gonna start back in Philippines. So my grandfather is kind of like OG otaku. And I think when I was younger, my first introduction to mecha and robot would be letting me watch Voltron, Transformers, like the old 80s, big 80s, sci-fi mecha shows, and being relatively close to the Philippines, Japan is, we have exposures to a lot of like mecha and anime and all that stuff. So, but it's not till much later on, like way later on, after my comic book phase in like elementary and high school, that I got into like, hey, I kind of like robots and I like mecha and all that stuff. So that's, I guess, where it really started. And it didn't start with Gundam or anything. I think it's definitely Transformers first, and then it transitioned into Gundam. And all the other mechas. I didn't really watch Macross and appreciated Macross way till like later on, till early college. And but yeah, I enjoy it now more so, and it's been good.
So actually, talking about Macross, which it actually triggered a lot of things in my childhood. So in the local Cartoon Network, at midnight or close to midnight, there was Macross Plus that came on. And
I remember.
I remember that.
I had no idea what that was. I'm like, how is there a mecha show like so amazing, out of nowhere? And it just like blew my mind. And I rewatched it. I think it was an annual thing. They kept it. I think right before or after was Spawn animated. My mom wouldn't
Yeah.
let me watch it, but she would let me watch the
I remember
Macross, but-
Macross Plus being one of the first animes in Cartoon Network, or no, not Cartoon Network, Teletoon. It was
Yeah, so
Teletoon.
that was Teletoon. I just trying to
I-
be generic
It was
for
late
the
night.
audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before that, it was only 2 animes that they air, and you could watch it almost any time of the day because that's the only 2 that they air. It's Macross Plus, and I'm trying to remember, and it was Ninja Scroll as the other anime, and that was the first time I saw like a samurai anime that I'm like, this is not old school 80s anime anymore. But with the Macross, very stylized. And I think that what stood out from that one, a couple of things. One, the rocket pod launching rockets, amazing like aerial display of like thrusters, and with Ninja Scroll, with Macross faces, it's very stylized with the pointy nose and like the pointy hair kind of thing. It reminds me of Battle Arena Toshinden, but like any of like the fighting games that you see the art on the side.
Oh yeah. These are great.
Yeah.
I think the problem with one of our childhood things is the YTV. Their anime roster was like season 1 and 2, and they would play in a loop forever for like a decade long, and you would never watch anything unless you knew someone who like kind of imported the DVDs from like Asia, and that was the only way you could watch them, because it was like YTV wouldn't have the full seasons, and like Dragon Ball like finished probably at like Frieza Saga, I think, or something. But then, yeah.
I remember actually when they were airing anime on local TV stations, they would only have the license for X amount of episodes. So after the last episode, they would just go back to the first one. So you actually like, the worst is when the last thing you watch is like on a cliffhanger. The next time you tune in is like the first episode again. Like, what?
Oh shit! Neon Wave. Can you put Neon Wave? That's a crazy fact I didn't know. Wow.
Oh my god! So there we
Not
go.
know that.
Yeah. Plus, Bryan Cranston, Breaking Bad, voiced the protagonist on the English dub. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. So Breaking Bad. I mean, that's a great show. But like, I remember watching Godzilla. I was watching Terminator. I was watching freaking Power Ranger. Bryan Cranston is in like all of those guys there, and it was crazy. How amazing this actor is. But like voicing Macross to me, that's definitely. That's something different for sure. Anyways, circling back to tonight's episode, we're talking about 5 mechas walk into a bar. So what we did, as I mentioned earlier in the show, I've asked everyone here. Well, we kind of asked everybody, both John and I and our guests, to select 5 mecha to talk about for tonight. So these 5 mecha, they're not necessarily like top whatever. I was kind of curious what they would assume I'm asking them. So it's kind of like, I want to see what they could come up with. I'm expecting it's something that you guys enjoy, either be it aesthetically, story-wise, or just have some kind of sentimental connection with it. So with that being said, why don't we start with that? What's gonna happen? We're gonna start with oh man, I want to say the guests first, but I kind of want to do, and I'm just really like throwing them into the fire.
Okay, no, you know what? You're hesitating. I think you should go first.
No, I'm
Ariel, come on.
Okay, fine. I guess.
Let's go.
You pulled my arm here. So that being said, I selected 5 mecha that I think is very, very cool in regards to like both aesthetic, both functionality, both how ridiculous it can be. Because like, again, mecha genre is about being super ridiculous. And ridiculous, I'm not talking about like haha it's funny, kind of like it's stupid. It's like ridiculous in like, wow, why? But like that is kind of the same question that I ask when I'm like seeing something amazing or wonderful. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go through some of the mecha that I've selected. So up first is the Earth Engine. This is the mecha that was used in a show called Captain Earth. I've only seen it once, like first pass of one season. I'm not sure if it continued, since it's been years since I've actually seen it. And reason why I brought this one up is because the transformation sequence on this is by far one of the most ridiculous things I've seen in regards to like I'm talking about like not ridiculous as in like it's funny. I'm just gonna pull it up because I totally lost the video on that, but I wanted to share with you guys the transformation sequence of Captain Earth. Transformation, and let's see here. So I'm gonna plug it in here. Hopefully, it doesn't lag too much. Cross your fingers. And okay, so see if I can full screen that. There's a pod that just got launched into space with a kid inside. Goes through space station to connect with all the parts for it. So there's the first core mecha.
Jesus Christ.
Now look at the size and scale of this, all right? It's just... And then it goes to another pass of another space station.
2 space stations to assemble. Beautiful.
To assemble, right? Like, and you know, there's some stuff happening right now. Like the bad guys have just come through. They're attacking like the perimeter of Earth's defense or whatever. And
yeah, that's it. The bad guys are just standing around and looking at it like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then they're waiting for like a good 15 minutes, and they look at it without attacking, and they're like, oh, maybe we should do something.
Exactly. So this is the third space station, one of the final approach, and it still needs, you know, another piece for it to be complete. Now, remember, there's a small kid inside this, and you could imagine the scale of this robot, this mecha. And to me, even though it's not a popular series to a lot of people, it stood out to me because of like how ridiculously large mecha suit can be in this universe.
But to be honest, aesthetically, I think this is really like pleasing. I like it. I like the way it looks. It's a mix of super robot / mecha, new genre, and a little bit like, you know, like Moon Gundam aesthetics with a infinitism grandizer type of feel. Even
so,
like Zeta.
Some comments here from Gunpla Uruguay. Badass Gatai sequence. Exactly. It's a very, very Gatai transformation sequence. I just want to say welcome to everybody that's joining in. I didn't get a chance to say hi to everybody, both on YouTube and Twitch. We have Tigress on Twitch. We have Manny. We have Nike629. We have Neon Wave on YouTube. We have LT Koon. Oh, I know this guy. It's Mo, isn't it? From anyways, lots of people coming in. I just want to say hi to everybody. I think so, isn't it?
And it is Mo. It's Mo.
It's Mo.
It's Mo, right? Yeah. Let's see here. I was about to say, and then we have Carbon Dobbs, newly addition to Twitch. Thank you so much for tuning in. We also have Elisnar one saying hi. Wait, is that E-Man? E-Man, is that you? Anyways, Captain Earth, I just want to talk about this real quick, and I'll pass it to the rest of you guys. This is just an image that I saw, but like, again, pretty cool. Color aesthetic-wise, very primary. So it has like, it touches on like the familiarity of like the good heroes. I'm talking about the RX-78 Gundam that has like that primary color and the white armor kind of thing. Anyways, if you guys are interested, check out Captain Earth. Cool transformation sequence. Very niche, I think, and I think it's a worth watch. Next, I have here classic. I want to talk classic. Escaflowne.
Oh man.
Okay,
so they made a kid of that, huh?
What about those palms?
Exactly. So let's talk Escaflowne. This one is probably one of those like the anime did not match the movie. So I remember watching the movie after the anime. So the anime, it was kind of like your typical, you know, anime that has like knights and swords and fighting and whatnot. But what I liked about their weapon of choice, their armor, they're called Gaimelef, I think. The Escaflowne is the only one that transforms into a flight type dragon-esque dragon. So it's like it to me, I don't know how it transforms that way because I don't see any seam lines or anything like that. Like it doesn't feel like it's supposed to transform into this, but it does. So Escaflowne to me was again another unique oops. Sorry, I said hi to that one. And a unique mecha in regards to one, it has a cape, it has swords. I don't think it had any like beam or any type of like armaments that could project any type, you know, projectile weapons. Very the transformation for me, I think there's going to be a pattern to what I'm going to present tonight because like there's there's kind of a pattern. I like things that transforms, either combines or transforms. So, anyways, Escaflowne, if you guys haven't checked it out, check out the anime first and then watch the movie, because the movie is a totally like shortened, condensed version and a lot darker than the anime. Anyways, in my opinion.
There's something I notice a lot about this is that certain mechas we like, but a lot of them don't make sense at all, right? Like having a cape or having like a dragon transformation, and you're like, it's not necessary, but it's really cool. And the cool factor is very important into the mecha genre.
Escaflowne fans, don't talk about the movie. That is from Neon Wave. Exactly, right? Like, and anyways, like that was to me was a big contrast. Just moving along here. Next one here. I love the Zeta Gundam. If I'm going to pick a favorite Gundam, Zeta is definitely a top 3 of mine. However, if I was to select further from that line, the Grey Wolf version of the Zeta is by far my favorite out of the whole Zeta series. So if you guys aren't familiar, Gundam Zeta is based on the UC timeline of the Gundam universe. It is, but however, this what we're looking at here was not part of any of the anime. However, there is a Gundam Evolve that showcased the Grey Wolf, the Red Snake, and the what's Amuro's colors? The John, do you remember? Yeah, that one. Amuro's colors, like the what's his? The Griffin? Isn't he a Griffin? White Griffin? Or White Horse, something like that. But anyways, transformation for this one, very much Zeta. Aside from the one, it has a big gun. On the front of it as its nozzle.
So there's a thing about the Grey Zeta, about the big gun, is that it is the #1 big gun you can get in a Gunpla, but taking it out of its kit is like a mortal sin. You cannot you cannot like kit bash it and grab the gun and just leave it aside. Like it's a mortal, like you can't.
I like it.
Just a couple of things here. Jonathan, what happened to your hair? Lol, it's great.
I didn't care. I had to shave it myself. You know.
Andrew is here too. He's saying Grey Zeta. You know, the orange one. Okay, aesthetically wise, yes, I love orange, but this one, it just it is orange. I have no excuse on that one. It is orange, but I really do like the design on this one. And woohoo, there is a follow to the channel. Thank you so much for following, guys.
You know, this is a custom, right? Because the original, there's something I don't like about the original is the fact that it's yellow and orange. Now this one is gray and orange, which makes it a much better color contrast.
I just want to say thank you to E-Man for subscribing on the channel for Twitch. Thank you so much for that, E-Man, and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for your support. Anyway, back to what you were saying, John, about the custom. Obviously it's not like the original one, but like I just want to show that like this is like an example of what the Grey Wolf is. Anyways, I'm gonna continue on, but Zeta, Grey Wolf. If I'm gonna select something from Gundam, next one here, very recent, very recent. This is the Starlitzia. The pilot of this is 02, and that one guy that's her bitch. I forgot his name. In my head, I totally forgot his name.
Like 100%, this show is an innuendo for like sadomaso. Like it's unbelievable.
But the thing is, like, what I like about this show is the uniqueness of the design. Very not so much like a traditional robot mech, like a robot that's shaped in very angular forms that you could tell right away it's a mecha. This one has a little bit more of curves, natural, I guess, like human-like parts. So, for example, we're looking at the collarbone, the connection to the arms. But what I like about it is the proportion of it. They really emphasize on key features for what is aesthetically pleasing for a human, especially female. So you have, your slender body, your tall legs, and your weapons. I mean, if you put in a frame arms girl or a Megumi device, you could swap the body for that, and you'd get pretty much Starlitzia.
Have you seen anyone build that kit? Like I knew they made a kit.
Andrew does.
I knew. Oh, really? Oh, okay, nice.
Andrew has the kit. I think Skyfish has the kit too. I'm looking for the second print because like I didn't know it was released. I didn't pre-order, so to me
that's limited edition. Yeah.
It is. So I think it's by Good Smile Company that did the kit for it. Again, Points here definitely are the orange. So as you can see the pattern, I really dig the orange pattern in this one. Even the orange eyes. All right, let's focus on this orange eyes. Mwah, love it. But no, if you're a fan of Evangelion or what's in like Escaflowne, that whole natural looking mecha, this is definitely a style you'll into. But the story wise, I'm not gonna get into that too much. But I enjoyed the first part, and I think it's a cool story to check out, regardless if you've seen it before or it's the first time you're seeing it. So, and also back to the pattern of transformation. The Starlitzia has a second mode, which is the Stampede mode, and this is awesome.
Yeah.
Look at this; it's like a mixture of if Zoids and what do you call it? Evangelion had babies. This would be it. Like, you can't get any more mecha-esque looking, natural looking thing without thinking about Zoids or Evangelion. So I think when they transformed from the mecha to the Stampede mode, they captured it in its essence. One, the color scheme, but number two, the weapon integration. So right here's the weapon, here's the shoulder pad. Like, it's an invert. Like, the front paws is actually the legs, whereas the back hinds here are the arms when it's in mecha form.
I wonder if you can measure the transformation. Like, if the kit transforms into the Stampede mode, and if it doesn't, is that a representation of how hard it would actually be in real life?
Possibly.
Maybe. E-Man says you like orange anything though. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. Let's see here. Neon Wave has a comment here. Darling in the Franks causing a fandom to send death threats to a director because a character who is 02 confessing their love for the protagonist. Oh my god. And then from Andrew here, I like the Franks designs. Wish the other ones got featured more, like the heavy in the coat. Oh yes, that one was really cool with the coat and the hat. Hardly ever used. Let's see here. And one more from Andrew here. I wish there was a kit of the Delphium like that design better. Awesome. Okay, so I'm about halfway mine. I'm going to pass the mic to you guys soon once I get to that. I think I'm on my last one. Voltas 5. So Voltas 5 is one of my OG favorite growing up mecha. This is very much a staple of Philippines right here. It was overplayed in Philippines. Ask any Filipino over the age of 25, they could probably still hum the main theme song of this one. This is very much a big 80s mecha, and it's 5 vehicles that form into one. So things that could be comparable to this would be Voltron, that was the first one, and Power Rangers. So this one is like OG Voltron, Power Rangers, and I'm putting this under mech because it is a piloted vehicle robot, right? So, and here's a shot of it with all 5 of the vehicles. So we have a plane for the head. We have like this fighter thingy here for like the arms, this tank bulldozer thing for the midsection, a submarine for the legs, and a land cruiser with drills for the feet. So
I really love how like every single one of these vehicles are completely useless, slow, clunky, whatever, and put together with the power of friendship, they become like super powerful, like unbelievable.
Yeah.
They all have
like super athletic, super athletic. But
so the thing about this one, remember, you guys are in a seat. It's not space, so the gravity affects it. So I don't know how they pilot it because the head, okay, I could see that being okay because in the top it could move. These guys don't move anywhere. They're still gonna be where they're positioned inside the body. So I'm gonna point out where they are. The head guy is here. The middle guy is somewhere in the chest area. This guy and that guy meet right at the crotch and midsection right here. Now, the lady that's piloting the foot.
Oh yeah, I see it.
See that split in the middle?
Yeah.
This rotates 90 degrees, but her cockpit rotates 90 degrees. I'm okay for the first 3 guys because I don't think they're gonna move. First, actually, all guys are fine. It's the girl that's like right here. Do you see that blue thing?
Oh, no way.
So imagine kicking the shit out of your opponent in that cockpit right there. So, anyways, for me, the reason why I put this as one of my top 5s, Voltas 5 being one of my favorite childhood shows growing up into mecha. This is definitely something that got me introduced into liking anime, liking robots, and teamwork. I think that's the message I'm gonna convey on that one. All right. Let's bring it back to everybody else here, guys. So did that kind of take precedence of how we're gonna present some stuff here? Are you guys ready?
I think we should not look into that and go like how we expected the questions to go, right?
Exactly.
Because I want to see the point of view of everyone and see how like they're gonna express the question in different ways. So.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really, really good one. Okay, why don't we start with Nate? I think I wanna go with Nate on this one.
Oh, share my screen.
All right, I see your. Yep, we're gonna see it right now. There you go, Nate. You have the board.
Oh, of course, Nate. Of course.
Yes, I do. See if I can put this full screen. Does it still work?
Yep.
Yep.
Full screen. Awesome. Okay, so I don't have. It's very hard for me to pick like 5 of my favorite mechs. So instead, what I'll do is I'll talk about five of my favorite mecha things. Okay. So 5 themes that I found very cool in mecha. First of all, as the images might suggest, I like thick boys. All right.
Nice.
Right. So these are we're staying within the Gundam universe, UC specifically. I love mecha that are like just so huge and big that you don't think that they can walk. Exactly. They can, no. So that's what I find is like super cool. Especially like when we go towards like the 80s and early 90s, right? Think about like Gundam Sentinel, Gundam Zeta, Gundam 0083, just to name a few. I mean, you did have like some crazy designs where they were like going like all out with the size of these things, especially like on the downside. I mean, on the Federation side, you didn't have as many bulky mechs until later in UC. But I just love these. I mean, it's so like organic and so almost alien. If you look at the O, the one to the right is called. It's a second version of the O. It's called the O2.
Is that a Magnolia design or?
Yeah, instead of having the legs, you had like the hover like jets on the soles, and I mean you go into like these old like Hobby Japan magazines, and back then you didn't have kits of these. People had to like actually go in scratch building putty just to like sculpt everything, and for me, just looking at that, it's like it gives me ideas on how to like incorporate those aspects into my other builds. And I think one thing you notice about these bulky mechs is that like the silhouette is very like pyramid-like. No, if you look at the Zamel, even maybe the Zeko Eins, it's very bulky at the feet, and there's something about that like silhouette that really speaks to me. And it just like for me, it's like if you're gonna build a giant robot that's gonna carry a lot of firepower, you might as well make the giant robot like massive and bulky and armored instead of going for like those skinny boy mech.
You're gonna hate me.
I'm not curious what John has on his neck on this one, but amazing on the bulkiness, because like I could just imagine like how much power and thrust you will need to produce in order for this thing to move, especially if they're ground type. Space I'm not too concerned about because there's no gravity to hold them back, but I know that the Zamel is very much a Earth used one, and I think they used that during the Stardust Memory capture the G02, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but there was the episode where he appeared, and right before it died, it kind of charged like headlong into the GP01, and in that one scene, you just see the whole mech rotate literally 90 degrees, and they flies towards like the Gundam, and I'm just like, how much thrust did the guy use to get that thing off the ground?
The whole fuel cell. Like I think the core of that is just fuel tanks and cells. Like that's how much thrust you'll need to get that thing to lift off. Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so moving on, and also just very quickly on the Gunpla side, imagine having these on your shelf because of their size. It's like a really big, like it just draws your eyes on that, and I just love that.
The Zamel is definitely a big boy for sure. That's a comment from Riot. Riot, how's it going, man?
Hey, Riot! All right. Okay. So Next slide, we have the mobile armor.
Oh.
Just when you thought that you already went big, we're gonna go bigger. That's
Yeah. So we got some the deep striker. We got the Elmeth and the Waro. So like two very well known Xeon mobile armors and one from the Earth Federation side. For me, it's just like in the show about Mecha, where most of the mobile suits are humanoid in shape. It's nice and refreshing seeing like like other designs being incorporated into this universe. I think mobile armor were developed as a result of Xeon losing the war, and they're going more towards like less limbs and more firepower in one package.
Yeah.
So they're more like miniature spaceships, that are used in combat. I just love the fact that it's so like science fiction and so like classic sci-fi. Like you think about Star Wars and even Star Trek, like it's just started with like spacecraft in space, and Gundam, took that and sort of did its own thing with the mobile armor, where instead of having a mech, you had like like a very cool looking spacecraft, and just from the design wise, I just love like just love these guys, and of course you have the Deep Striker, which is from Gundam Sentinel. And it's it's the S Gundam that's nested inside this giant armor pack. I don't know if you guys built the master grade. I haven't, but I think I haven't built it yet.
No, but do you have it?
I don't. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I think he's saying not yet on that one. Even like that. I don't know where to put that. I think it's huge. There was a question here from Wildstick asking what is the biggest mecha in Gundam, and I think Andrew made a comment about technically the Devil Gundam is the biggest.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it the biggest Gundam?
The Neo Zeong is pretty big too.
Yeah,
but it's not a Gundam though.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, the biggest mecha in Gundam. Okay, the Neo Z. Yeah, the Neo Zeong would probably be the biggest.
Pretty big.
We also the Big Zam. I don't know how the Big Zam stacks.
Oh, I don't think it's that big. I don't think it's as big as a Neo Zeong.
Yeah.
No, because
I mean, legs or without legs. I mean, legs, fuel tanks.
I think that one is just slightly taller than Psycho, but like, I'm trying to remember from the anime again. Until I've only seen people scratch build it, and they don't say it's to scale or 100% to scale. So
Yeah.
Massive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what about you? About what? Do you guys know anything? But well, UC I guess would be Neo Zeong for that one,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, probably.
Because if
Yeah.
you compare HG Psycho Gundam versus HG Neo Zeong, it's like no contest. After that, yeah.
yeah. Cool, Nate. What else you got there, man?
All right, third slide. We have Machiningkrieger. So this was a sort of franchise that was started by this model maker called Ko Yokoyama. He did a bunch of like started like this sort of is like a universe that he built, and then fans just like really jumped into it and sort of created their own content. And this is basically like a kid basher's wet dream, because a lot of the like mecha and spacecraft that are like in this universe were, because no back then the 1980s when this first came out, you didn't have kits of these, right? I mean, like it's just like one guy building these models, and you can see like the orange. I put orange for you, Ariel.
Thank you for that. I was actually staring at it. I'm like, when am I gonna get my hands on that kit?
So that's called the anti-gravity fighter. It's called the Falk, which is I think in German for Falcon, something like that. But that one is like a anti-gravity fighter. And if you look at it closely, you can see that the pods that are on the side, those are actually the fuselage from a World War II fighter that he used.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, he turned it 90 degrees, and he like used a bunch of putty to like attach everything. And if you notice the thruster at the very back, that's actually a yogurt bottle from in Japan that he actually. Yeah, it's I forgot the name. I think it starts with Y. But this yogurt company in Japan has that very distinctive yogurt bottle like his drink out of, and he took that and literally made that into a thruster. Eventually, like the company Hasegawa got the license, and they're making new modern plastic injection kits of this franchise. But anyways, it's this is really cool because in this universe, like literally you can build anything, and then you can you can make up a story of this mech, and it will work in this universe because it's so loose. Basically you have factions fighting against each other, but the design is so like organic and round, and like I said before, it's like a kid basher's wet dream. I just love like just looking at what people have built, or original creations, just using that as inspiration.
Can I add something to that? So I was looking at Hobby Link Japan earlier because I was looking for a specific kit. We're talking about the Mecca here. I saw a resin kit that they have there, and the prices on these are not cheap, guys. They're ridiculously priced.
Yeah.
I saw one of the Fireball, the Mecca. It was one of the Fireball, but it's so there's a guy in that suit, right? So the Mecca is a power suit, but that power suit is attached to a bigger mech, and I'm like, what? I was like, yes, because it needs to get to that. My ridiculous meter freaking went off. I was like, it's so ridiculous. I need to have that. Like, I wouldn't know what to do with it just because out of like lack of skills or just like lack of again working with these types of genre and mech. But like, I saw that and I'm like, see, that to me is ridiculous enough to be like, yes, I dig it. But they're very unique in design because they have that dome kind of like front. Not like your typical humanoid body. I mean, there's like limbs, sure, but it doesn't have the head or
I didn't notice like a central design style. It's like like you said, like the dome central pods. Like even there you can see like the dome head over there, the dome central cockpit, and then the other guy you were talking about, like the dome. So that's pretty interesting.
Cool.
Fun fact: Japan has tomato yogurt. It's not bad, from what I've heard. That's a really fun. I think that. Mechaception. That's from Tom. How's it going, Tom? And guys, again, thank you for tuning in. Just want to take this time to say, everybody, had a good morning or good evening wherever you are in the world. Thanks for tuning in both on Twitch and on YouTube. We'll simulcasting right now to those platforms. So, guys, thank you. Nate, what else do we got on this, man?
Cool. All right, next slide. This is more just art that I've taken from Google. So from when I do a lot of like mecha custom, I like to focus on the mechanical detail, and I think a very important aspect of this is getting that realisticness just right. What I mean is, you look at a feat of a master grade, or even just like a manipulator of a Gundam, or even like the inner frame of Mobile Suit's torso, right? Just where the motors are placed, where the batteries are placed, where the pistons are placed. I think that's like super important to know and learn, because it's when you add that degree of realisticness to your build, it just brings your build to the next level. If I just give an example, like a modeler that I think everyone knows, like Vered, right? He does like super detailed mechanical builds and kit bashes. And if you look at his work, the way he integrates little pistons here and there, little like generator pieces, little caps, round details. It's done in a way that it's very realistic. Like, had this been manufactured for wartime use in the factory somewhere in space, like, it was made by man, so therefore it has to have some sort of like logic to it. So that's really one aspect of like kit bashing and model making that I want to learn, and I like to focus on just having that degree of realisticness to it. But also, I also like the other side of this, where sometimes you have a design that's so outlandish that it just looks cool. Like, and that's, I think that's what's so great.
The ridiculous meter has to go off.
Yeah, exactly. Like occasionally you'd see a design where the mech is super bulky, but the feet are tiny. I mean, it wouldn't
Yeah.
make sense in real life, but it looks so cool as a concept that you're like, I wish this was like a model kit or something.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
cool factors out there that are like, it makes absolutely no sense, like in design proportions, like you say, like small feet, like big waist, and like maybe small arms or something, and just having like a weird design sometimes, even in painting, like what is it, the zenithal like shading, like it makes absolutely no sense, but it looks so good.
So good. Exactly.
I mean, as you mentioned earlier, right? Like having giant shoulders and capes on a mecha. Like, there's no reason for it, but why not?
Why not? Exactly.
There's a question here. What show is this? Are they building? No, we're not building anything right now, Twitch user. We're basing. This is a talk show. I want to say talk show. This is just Bud's shooting the shit right now, and we're just chatting about mecha and stuff. So if you guys are just tuning in, we're talking about some 5 concepts of mecha that we like, be it the 5 mechas that we enjoy. But from Nate's take here, it's like what he likes from mechas as his like aesthetic and detailing. That's cool. All right, what else do we got there, Nate?
So the last slide I want to show is basically just mecha concept art, man. So guys, like in mecha is such a wide topic, within science fiction. I mean, not only talking about like Gundam and other franchises, but just giant robots are just so cool that like you can literally look up like concept art on Google, on Pinterest, and you're gonna find hundreds of artists posting their works. And I just love like browsing through these because whenever I get stuck in a project, like a Kit Bash, for example, a part that I just don't know what to do with it, or or somewhere like I this arm, I don't know how to build this, I don't know how to modify this, I don't know what kind of part to add. So for me, it's like just looking up what other people have drawn or have like done in 3D.
DeviantArt is my my go-to. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm a Pinterest guy. Like I have a ton of like boards that I've
but that's it. Pinterest takes from DeviantArt just to make it like a really organized collection of everything from the internet. So.
I've actually uploaded to Pinterest some of my previous work because I'm like, every time I search for mine, I'm like, I think mine's good enough for them. So I went out of my way to like totally Pinterest it. It was the only thing I really Pinterested there was my very proud kit from last year. It was the Regin Lace Julia custom that I did for the
orange ones, right?
Canadian build off. So I was really very proud of that. Like,
good guess, Quinn. Good guess.
It's orange, okay. But yeah, no, it's kind of cool like to see a lot of mecha, regardless of where you are. When you do Google search, I think is the worst, just because it's a weird algorithm. But if you look at
art still, but it's not like
Pinterest, even Twitter. I think Twitter is not bad for mechas because if you type in mecha or gunpla, you get the Asian side, like the Japanese, Indonesia, Singapore kind of like uploaders of Twitter that do amazing work, by the way. So but overall great platforms on search engines. But yeah, like I also dig the big mecha. Like I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but the heavy mechas are always so cool to look at. They're just like monsters of mecha.
Firepower of the ass.
Man. Awesome, great. Now,
was that it, Nate, or do you have any more?
I think that's it. That's my 5. That's my 5.
That's your 5? Oh wow! All right. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Mecha Pew Pew, and it's a new show. It's gonna be a chatting show. It's gonna be a whole bunch of like random topic show. But we're gonna have lots of really cool conversations. Up next, the Quinster. Quinn, are you ready to show and tell a little of your stuff?
I'm ready. I think we can do it. Yep.
Okay, share me your screen and I'll give you the pilot on this one. Man.
You have to hit the sound effect when you say pew pew.
I can't. It's off.
Oh no.
That's why I say like everything on this has like so we'll have this ready for the next show.
Good.
Unfortunately, my soundboard is feeling ill tonight, and I have Quinn now on deck. So I think we should be showing his screen next. All right, take it away, Quinn.
All right, the one, the only, the Grimgard. One of my favorites from IBO. It just combines everything that you can want out of a mech. It's super stylistic. It's got amazing aesthetics. Shield, swords. When you get to it, a sweet-ass Tommy gun. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, this kit is by far the number one with miniature builders. Like like all miniature builders are like, yeah, this is my sweet spot.
It's got everything you want. It's got that night aesthetic. It still fits right in there. Yeah. The only downside for me, at least personally, is the reddish pink on the runners. Not a big fan. I had to recolor that immediately.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
Something about the helmet.
What was that?
Something about the helmet of the Grimgirder, just the way I think the mouth, is that a mouthpiece? It just looks like it has a giant open mouth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of. And it like the helmet piece actually comes down too, so you can reveal the sort of the mono eye in there. Yeah, it's very cool. Definitely one of my favorite kits and builds so far. It was actually my second build.
Actually, I think I got the soundboard going. Hang on, guys on the chat. Can you let me know if this is working?
I hear it.
It's a bit low, but like, let me know if you hear it. And there we go. All right, take it away, Quinn.
Nice. All right, from there we go into something a little different. So this is an Eldar Revenant Titan from 40K.
Nice.
40K from those who are not sort of familiar. Similar in aesthetics to a degree. It's still slender. It's got some rounded edges. As far as like size-wise comparison goes, it's probably about, I'd say about 50 feet tall, so it's comparative to some of the Gundam sizes. But absolutely ridiculous in the fact that it's got giant thrusters, super huge, really thin parts, and these huge sort of laser cannons. For those who are not in
cannons,
Warhammer takes place in the year 40,000, and this is from an alien faction, and it is actually composed of like this psychic resonant bone. So it actually adheres with the user and holds onto the spirits of sort of dead soldiers.
Such an intricate story. Like it's
carbon of people in there. Yeah, it's wild.
This what we're looking at right now is from a miniature line from the looks of it. So that's a very like what 3-inch base, 2.5-inch base?
No, so this is actually massive. This guy stands 14 inches tall.
Oh shit!
Oh, bullshit! Get out of here! No,
it's huge. So that base is probably like 6 inches in diameter. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's like a figure almost.
I take that back. Quinn also likes big things. Sorry, Nate.
As far as the next one goes.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I love me some Conquer. Very similar in the fact that it's got the rounded curves and whatnot, but I do like some thick stuff as well, Nate.
You mechs for the win, man.
Yeah, I mean it's got all of the gun loadouts. It's everything you can want: shotguns, bazookas, missile launchers.
Actually, if you open up the bottom crotch hatch, there's a kitchen sink in there. So
one of
awesome build, man.
Yeah, I just love the shape of the element is actually quite different from all the Xeon ones. It has a very pointy, arrowy mono eye, and it's also like a very domey shape instead of being a I guess a lot of them have a domey shape, but like it ends up in a where it meets in a narrow shape, I can say. If you understand what I mean, like it's unique in the Xeon style.
It is, yeah, and I think that's kind of what also drew me to it is the fact that like I think beyond this, the Goof would probably be my next favorite Xeon kit, and they all sort of have that similar sort of pointy aesthetic with the sort of rounded elements, but it's so different from everything else in that line. It really draws one to its own. Very unique kit.
Did you guys just saw that comment? I just want to shout out to Twitch user. I'm going to bring it back. For the designer of this, how many weapons do you want?
It's a good one.
The pilot? Yes. That's funny.
And
so just series OCD real quick.
Yeah.
If you go back to the image of the camphor, that's from the master grade kit, okay? If you zoom in to the, I think the left arm, if you look at the shoulder, look at the shoulder.
Zoom in on that, Quinn?
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, you can. Zoom in on that. Let's take a look. What is Nate talking about? He's going to be talking about, look here, and it's like, a guy going like this.
Yeah. if you look at that ball joint on that ball shoulder part there with the 3 black dots,
Yeah.
that part is
Yeah.
not snapped all the way.
Oh.
So you're saying there's something wrong with that kit?
I don't know,
Actually,
but on the
I have my
Oh, I see
I'm gonna go
it.
grab my camphor. One second.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
on his left side.
on the camphor's
here?
left arm,
Yeah, you can see the black space.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not snapped all the way.
I'm-
I had this as a poster in my room, and then one day I just noticed. I'm like, wow.
Hang on. This is
Anyways.
my camphor here. I'm just gonna. I'm not totally gonna steal it completely, but I'm kind of curious about that. Just gonna put myself here. So this is the camphor that I recently built. So you're talking about those 3 holes?
Yeah, no, in between the blue shoulder and the black part, in the image, there's a 1 millimeter space because they didn't snap it in all the way.
Oh, the gap between the thing. Okay.
Dun,
Okay.
dun, dun.
I regress on that. That is pretty funny. I see the gap now. Cannot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
And this is why Nate is the judge at most competitions.
He picks up on those things, right?
Because
He
he's
can
like,
be easily
why?
bought, by the way. I know his kryptonite, guys. Email me for the next GBWC if you want a placement on that.
Yes.
All right. Let's continue. What's going on here?
Is a ridiculous suit from another 40K lore. This
Mm.
suit is called the Warhound Scout Titan. It literally has a dog snout and runs on like bent back legs, which is absurd because why?
Yeah.
It also stands pretty tall. It stands about similar to the Revenant Titan. It's about 50 feet tall. Again, a scale model kit stands about a foot tall. It's a huge chunk of resin. And the weapon armaments that it has they call them something ridiculous. It has like super mega plasma cannons or something absurd like that because you gotta have ridiculous names when you have a thing this large.
That's how I called my. Yes.
Oh wow!
It joins actually an accompaniment of Warhammer 40K that the next size up is basically like a church on legs, and then it goes up to a city on legs because that's what you want.
Oh.
Gotcha.
And it's
Okay.
very interesting that like in Western mecha, often they'll omit the arms entirely and replace that with cannons.
Yeah, like Ed 209.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Nice.
why need arms when you can have giant guns?
exactly.
I tried explaining that to her. So, anyways.
I mean, that's what they think. Why need legs when you can have hover pods, right?
Yeah.
David, go here. Turbo Laser Destructor.
There you go.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they are
Okay.
absurd.
By the way, Quinn, you'll be proud of me. I ordered my first miniature. It's a 3D print resin, about 150 millimeter. So
Nice.
it's pretty big, but it's my first one, right? So I'm gonna try my hand on hand painting for the first time. I'd say I'm a good airbrusher, but like hand painting is gonna be expanding my skills and mastering.
Nice. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I'll try. I may actually ask you how it goes. Like,
Yes, no, for sure. If
Nice.
you need any tips, give me a shout.
awesome.
But just the tips, right?
Yeah, just the tips.
Okay.
And
All right.
here is one of my favorite suits, bar none, the Wodan Pod from Turn A. I come
Yes.
from an industrial design background, so Sid Mead, I'm very familiar with the concept art and sort of his design philosophy. When I found out that he actually did a collaboration on a Gundam series, I was both blown away and very weirded out to a degree because like I didn't see the aesthetics matching. And then in seeing the series, it's something totally brand new. And the Wodan Pod is fantastic because it kind of, to me, combines sort of the bestial form from, some of the Western mecha into also sort of Japanese aesthetic, which is really, really cool. So this is definitely one of my favorite suits.
And how many Wodan pods have you built now? I know you've been building a little army.
I have built 2 and I have 3.
Nice.
because I really like them.
I don't know. Has everybody here seen or watched Turn A?
Well,
Turn A
yeah,
Gun?
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But are you talking about is there a kit of the old one?
No, I don't
No,
think
that's
so.
it. Okay, so you're talking about the new Bill Diver one, right?
Yeah, the new
Yeah, yeah.
driver. Actually, it's not even to scale to what it's supposed to be. It's definitely more downscaled. If you could see here, right, like the Turn A would have just been like up to the midsection of this mecha,
Yeah.
and the one pod in Re-Rise is like just slightly taller than a high grade, but not by a lot. So they definitely decreased the length of it. They captured the essence, I think.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
arms are smaller, more cuter because it's a
Bigger head, more central.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's almost like chibi in a way.
Yeah.
Like big core, small limb, or like decrease in scale of limbs. But this was a beast. Like I remember in the anime that this thing is like packs up a wallop. So
Oh yeah, and I mean like the weapons that it has are incredibly destructive. Yeah, it's a wild mecha.
awesome.
Yeah, there it is in size
beautiful.
comparison. I think they've got a sketch. Yeah.
See, that's so cool. I really like the design of the Turn A in regards to the feet, especially when they have like that back hind. The Turn X also has like this similar kind of aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is that. I love the sketch. You gotta send me a copy of that. I think send me
Sure.
a book. I think I want to get a book of that. It looks pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
I think he did a Turn A book. It's pretty rare now.
Oh, actually, if you go at most convention, mostly Anime North, there's this bookseller who sells it every year. I look at it and I'm like, nah, I don't need that.
Yeah.
I move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Nice. Yeah,
Right
and
on.
even all the panel details and everything like that. I'm very impressed that they took it from not only the anime but also from the sketches and converted it over to the model so well. There's a lot of detail in that new kit that is transferred over.
Again, very industrial in design, but like you could see what I like about this one is when you see the lines, you could almost see like, okay, here's the bent joint. This is how it's gonna rotate with the ball joint, elbow, and how it's gonna connect. I mean, it has the human anatomy, just not in the in the proper places of where it would be in a humanoid, especially with the hind legs there. But I really like the Turn A in regards to like stepping away from the conventional Gundam humanoid design. So cool. All right.
Yeah.
What else do
That's it for me.
that's it for you? All right.
All my 5.
Okay, great. No, thanks for sharing that, Quinn. Jonathan,
Yes.
up next. I think these guys are very curious to see what your take is on a 5.
That's the
On your
thing.
5
It's gonna be extremely predictable, simply because I mean most of them are gonna be all like the same, but like different. Oh man, not even different universe. A lot of them are the same series, even. But yeah, we can go ahead. Yeah. So first on my list, and I went into like top 5 in terms of my favorite mecha. The thing is, contrary to Nate, I like mobility. Right, it's all about high mobility, and I think that Destiny and Seed has been capturing a lot of mobility. You know, the classic position split, or the Obari pose where like they draw their swords super extremely close to the camera, and I think I love that aesthetic.
Like super foreshortening kind of scene, like when the sword is there, it's like
exactly. And I love when someone does like a force proportion aspect of it, and I think that's just wonderful. And I think that Destiny is probably my top 1, simply because 1, it has mobility, 2, it has massive firepower, massive. I'm actually like 100% against beam sabers, but this one has a sword, and the sword is actually, it takes over the beam sabers in terms of effect. So I think that, and this one, the backpack, okay. I find it cringy when someone uses a Destiny backpack as a kid bash because it's too iconic. But I think on the Destiny itself, it makes sense, right? And I think his backpack is literally almost like pure energy. And I think that that's kind of something very interesting. Also, the oversized V-fin, the like the blood tears. I call them blood tears, but like the it's like the spiky thing under his eyes. I think that's an absolutely amazing design for it. And most of them I took the box art, because I think the box art like portrays the best the mobile suit. So yeah, here's for my Destiny, second on the list.
So before we go to that, I just want
to Destiny backpack and the giant Zeta gun and put it in one kit.
Oh yeah, that's it. It's a best version of everything. I think everything in one suit. Unfortunately, the Master Grade is very old and doesn't stand the test of time. It feels almost like the HG is actually better than the MG right now. So,
quick thing before we continue, John. I just want to say hi to everybody that's just tuning in. We have Edsel joining us. We have Ben Voigt. Hello, everyone. I missed the first hour. We totally didn't even plan if we were going to go online till about 3 hours before we decided to actually go online. So it's kind of, oh man, we're approaching this in a very, very shotgun approach. We're approaching this in a very cowboy approach, very, very pew pew approach.
Finally, nice.
Love that. And Mo said it is his favorite mobile suit. There's a thing here from I think I just want to circle back to Quinn. There from Neon Wave. It takes a Gunpla girl piloting a mobile doll in order to use a game console controller in order to pilot the Wodom pod. Try saying that 3 times fast, and I think that's a reference to Eva as well. So that is awesome. And then from Andrew here, too bad about the pilot though. Yep. Let's see here. John, you have a question here. John, what do you think of Gundam Arceus from Gundam Warframe mobile game?
I had never seen it.
I was gonna say, I'm like, John better know this because I have no idea what the fuck that is.
I 100% gonna look that up, because if you recommend it, I will look it up, and I will probably give you my opinion for next show. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, you know what? It's a Destiny.
Oh, it is.
It's it's the Gundam Arius. The design base is the Gundam Artemis. So a Gunpla that appears in Mobile Breaker video game.
Shit.
This pilot at a game. Yeah. So that is pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, very nice.
There, we learned something today that is pretty sweet. So thank you for that, Neon. All right, let's continue, John, with your thing here.
Awesome. Second, I think Jegan grunt suit, very explosive, but I think in terms of one mobility, it's a simple suit. It's how can I say? It conveys a lot of like simplicity in terms of design, but also like it has like bigger calves, which create like almost like I'm not going to use the word comically disproportionate, but it feels like it's just fun in terms of proportion, like bigger shoulders. It's not round per se because it has an edge, right? But it's a square design that's mimicking a round shape. I find that like amazing. Honestly, I think it's probably it's my favorite grunt suit, 100%. Yeah, honestly, it's but sadly it is a grunt suit that is meant to explode at the touch of a
Oh my god, they're fathers for sure. Hang on, before you go on that one, what I like about this as well, if you're talking about the Jagan, is like where they store their ammunition and weapons. So the shield rockets are really cool.
Yes.
If you look at the side skirt, the beam saber hilt on one side, and then you have extra rocket or ammo on the other. The gun itself, go on.
But in terms of mobility, have you noticed like the thrusters on the legs from a high mobility, the backpack high mobility, the classic thrusters and under the backpack mobility? It's a super high mobility suit. Yeah, but it doesn't move fast enough to avoid.
It's definitely not designed for the pilots. It's more like this design.
Blame the pilot.
The pilots are like, I'm gonna fly that. Yep, here you go, buddy, and here's your banana. Like, it's like off you go.
And I think it's contrary to what Nate was saying about big suits, like just static movement. I think it's all about like athleticism in terms of a mobile suit.
Yeah,
like it doesn't make sense in terms of like mechanical design, but I think it's awesome. Yeah.
No, it looks pretty cool.
I love the fact that there's no front skirt armor.
Yeah,
I think that's something that I really love about like this
That's
design.
a huge design flaw, right? I think we actually had a discussion about like how front skirts were actually like the like
'Cause I
complete
mean-
lack of mobility.
If you think about it, if it's not actuated, I'm using my phone as an example, but like imagine if the leg was behind the armor, right? It would hit the thing every time they walk. So there has to be like a motor that makes it go like up and down to match the movement of the legs.
And that's a waste of energy, but it's also protection. But if you look at the Jegan Type D, it has like like literally a block that extends from the crotch that just blocks the
Mini
joint.
skirt.
Yeah.
What did you think about the master grade though? Did you?
I haven't built the master grade, but I'm actually gonna because at the shop we've been all the Jegan Type D, they've been selling out like way too fast. I can't grab one for myself, so I'm just waiting for a Type D coming along.
Cool.
But yeah, just a Type D because the shoulders are a little more squarish.
Yeah, they're a bit more. Yeah.
But I'm debating because Type D is cool, but the original is a classic, right? And so my alternative is I might actually just build a high grade and make it look like awesome. I mean, try to make it look awesome.
Yeah.
Try. The key word here is try. All right, John, what else you got next there, man?
Next, in terms of mobility again. So
Okay.
I love big suits also, but I like mobility. And I think the best way to put it is to put a big suit in a seed series. And so that's how they made it like extremely mobile. And I think that this having like a giant gun, a giant bazooka, is the way to go, right? And I think it's because it is a Zaku, but I think it actually gets more from the goof, from UC we're talking about. And I think the design has been enhanced like crazy. Like there's a lot of beautiful shapes, and even the design has been like enhanced. Yeah. Sadly, the master grade feels more like a Reborn 100. So, but personally,
I don't think I'm going to disagree with that one. I think that we are very privileged to get a master grade regardless of what that is. RE, I don't think is comparable. This is way better than an RE. I built one of these as well. The RE has more hollow parts. This actually has like an inner frame. It is a little bit lacking in some areas, which can be comparable to an older, dated kit. But points in this one: number one, articulation, details and panels. Like you're getting a new modern kit.
For me, a kit is 100% about the details. I don't care about the inner frame. Like it creates mobility, but my mobile suits don't move after they're painted. Like they stay in a static pose and they stay the way they are. So for me, mobility acts as like the first pose. But then if it doesn't have enough mobility, I modify it. Right? It's not a
All right, and also this is Rani over here. Rani saying I like the Zaku from the Seed series. So yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, I hate that." Inside you love it. You know it. Don't lie to me.
As a small in between, the Jin has been announced recently in regular release.
Yes.
So a lot of people are talking about it. I think it's a great kit.
It's an instant.
I'm a big fan of custom suits, right? The suit specifically made for one pilot. So for me, the Jin is just a generic use suit. So.
Okay, well, hold up. This is where I'm going to chime in. There is, if you've read any of the Astray story, there's a high mobility Jin, and that is a customized Jin.
Isn't it for Roller Crusade? I think Roller Crusade has I don't know what does he pilot exactly.
Le Crusade? He has the. Well, it wasn't a Jin.
At the beginning of the series, he has like I think it's a goof, or not a goof, but it's
now I gotta think about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the point
if someone from the audience can help us, like what is the beginning of the series? The first 5-10 episodes, Roller Crusade's piloting a Zaku Jin looking suit.
I don't think it's a Zaku. It's not a Jin. He has a customized shield. I remember that. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm talking about the high mobility Jin in Astray Red frame or Astray Red storyline. The main protagonist trained with this guy that is a swordsman as well, who pilots a Jin, and he's an older guy, and he repaired his mobile suit. So it has like patches of armor, so it's asymmetrical. And when I built that kit a long time ago, number one, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was high mobility Jin, but then I didn't read that there's like by so and so piloted by whoever. And that's why I'm putting it together. It's like, why is there a cap on one end? And like, how come this knee pad looks weird? It's not until I read that there are customized Jins. There's another guy also in Seed That pilot's only white. All of his mobile suits are colored white. Be it a Jin, be it Dagger, be it like any mobile, and it's kind of cool. I wish to read more about that guy, but I think the only time you only see him in anything video wise is the it's the alternate intro to Gundam Seed Astray, where it's you know how there's like intros for like Destiny, which is the perspective of Plant.
Yeah,
and
from
then,
the movie. If you watch the movie, it's actually a different perspective. It's the OVA is from the perspective of the Plant versus the show is perspective of the
Earth Federation or the Archangel or whoever, right? Yeah. So there's a third intro where it's in the perspective that's from the Astray.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the main suit that does that flying silhouette, and then the text of the intro is in the background, is by Def Rock, which is Miguel's Orange Gin. Shout out Orange Gin for the win on that one, and that is why I remember it, and that is my orange story for the night. I'll see you guys next week, same time. No, but I'll send you guys a link. It's really, really cool.
Massacres are coming out, so you're probably going to be getting a
variations.
Western Plus orange goof. Soon.
Yes. Or Heinz. I'll take Heinz.
Yeah, it's a Heinz Western Plus. Yeah.
For Looker say it's a Sagu. Oh, Gasu. Sagu. It's a Sagu. CGUCU, isn't it? Sagu. Yeah. ZGMF 515 Sagu.
Nice. Cool. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you for that. And that was from Neon Wave. Good call on that. Let's see here. Ran here, like, hope I get my hands on this Zaku. I want to customize it. The only thing I don't like is with the Zakus are those thorn thingies.
Yeah, that's it. It feels very goofy. Like goofy.
Yeah, it does.
Nice.
Gene Carey is the pilot. Oh, yeah. With the white mobile suit, Jin, Long Dagger, and one demonstrate there. Gene Carey. Guy looks badass. I don't know much about him, but like from the stills and shots, and that intro is the only time you'll see him in an animation where he does this, like, and then does the glasses point up,
and they shine white.
And that's right, they shine white, exactly. So, anyways,
I can't get mine to shine white. But...
you should just get one with the LED ones where you just go like that and like a bright LED just like flashes.
Awesome. All right, so next one we have the Mega Shiki. So
I knew it.
Okay.
I knew it. I'm a big fan of the Yakushiki. I just find that gold is slightly overdone. Like, it's too flashy, right? So I think the Mega Shiki has the perfect balance between, one, it has high heels. It has the mobility of a Yakushiki, like super athletic, super like mobility suit. And it has mega particle cannon on the back, right? So firepower and mega thrusters. So the enhance, also the color scheme, the high heels, they made the rifle into a long rifle, and also it has a mega. It's not a mega bazooka. It's a mega cannon.
Mega particle cannon.
No,
Mega launcher.
Mega rider cannon. I think mega launcher cannon. Yes, instead of a mega particle cannon. Yeah, like.
Bigger guns. We need big guns for these guys.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the thing, and also I'm a big fan of the design. It's built from Build Fighter, and I know the pilot says Shunsuke Sudu, but it's actually Minato Sakai. And I think he was the hero of the entire series, right? The master builder, the master customizer, the ultimate builder of the series, and then he gets beaten by the power of friendship. Yeah.
You can't beat the power of friendship.
No, that's it. All right. So next one we have the this is the RG, right? Just came out.
Yeah.
The Sword Impulse, right? I think Force Impulse was maybe too basic. Blast Impulse is just like overdone. I think Sword Impulse is the perfect balance between the two, and it offers like swords. I think it's just like the proportion is just, the aesthetic is just perfect. The way the skirt works, I don't know why. I'm just obsessed with how the skirt is. It's just like the different levels of structure, and also the massive swords and the Bag V boomerang. I think it's just like a masterpiece of a design. And I think like it's just wonderful, right? It's almost equivalent to the Destiny in terms of design, of my personal favorite design. Obviously, Destiny is better because plot armor and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just
It's funny. I have the same thought here as well. It's like basically saying boomerang because like if you're looking at the back V, like it has handles, right?
It is a boomerang.
Boomerang, but it's not the whole. It's not the whole V. It takes it out so that one side has like that energy thing.
Okay,
then you launch it. Because it would be cool. I'm thinking of like Inuyasha, where that chick had that like big boomerang kind of weapon. Because that would be cool. Definitely, I would rename this to Australian Gundam easily.
Nice. Oh no, like a G Fighter version of. But the problem is
the first and last episode now. Thanks, guys.
The thing is, it is like I'm a big fan of asymmetry in model kits, but this one is overly symmetrical, and I think this is beautiful. Like just the fact how like the two swords are perfectly balanced, the V is perfectly balanced, everything is just a perfectly balanced design, and yeah. I'd say, you know what? If you would make like a grunt suit out of a freedom, that's what would come out of it. Yeah.
Or was there even a mass production? Because like, I know the daggers were kind of like the mass production of the strike, right?
Oh, by the way, they're coming out in April.
Daggers. The new daggers?
April in Japan, so probably April, May, June in Canada. Yeah.
Nice.
You had the M1 Ashtray, but that was the mass production of the Ashtray.
The Ashtray itself, yeah.
Is it me or the Ashtray without a flight pack is incomplete?
Yeah, good. Huh?
Yeah, the flight pack just seems like it's part of it. Like it's the.
You guys are just so used to backpacks. That's what it is. You're expecting backpacks for everything. All right. I think the Ashtray being a melee. Heavy melee kind of like samurai melee inspired design. I don't think it needs excessive. It needs mobility. If anything, I would love to see it have more thrusters. Can you imagine like more thrusters on the shoulders, the skirts, so that it could like dodge a lot faster? I forgot which mobile suit had that like like the full verniers, but like obviously not like super huge. And if it was to have a backpack, it would be a flight pack for me. I as much as it aesthetically looks cool for the Ashtray, I just don't think it is the backpack for it. The colors, okay, so the thing is like the color scheme is there. That makes it, the synonymous between the two. But if it's a melee fast type thing, I'd rather have more openings in the joints so it could like move a little bit better, more armor where it needs to be, like on the chest where the pilot is, and more thrusters. Like literally put a shitload of thrusters on this guy and he's good to go. Backpack is like a fan service for, I don't know. Sometimes it could be like a fan service trope, I find. But to each their own.
Have you seen? I mean, have you fully analyzed the Ashtray Sengoku?
The Ashtray Sengoku?
Yeah, it has like a lot more stuff, a lot more melee weapons, a lot more like options to be more efficient, right? And in Build Fighter, I guess that's all that counts, right? Efficiency, not like gimmick. Well, I mean, it's
all gimmicks, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right.
And plot armor, it's like, oh, by the way, there's an RG inside there now. It's like, but it's the same scale, so it works. Strike Gundam pulls out a armor Schneider. There's a couple of comments here that I'm just gonna go through. Impulse, you call that a knife? This is a knife. Pulls out a sword.
Yeah.
And then Randy here, last comment here. I like the Ashtray without the flight pack. Reminds me of the Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah, like the very samurai, like one sword, one slice, puts it back in the sheath kind of thing. But yeah, like the Impulse itself, I think was a cool kit. I prefer the Impulse symmetry over the Destiny asymmetrical weapon in the backpack.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it actually bothers me a lot. Like there's two different weapons on both sides of the
and
backpack.
Two different colors.
And oh my god, it freaks me out. I'm like, this is not like, but. In terms of, this is the RG Sword Impulse, right? I got myself the HG and the MG, and step 1 is building the RG. Step 2 is matching the HG to the RG in terms of proportions and design. And step 3 is looking at all the changes I made on the HG and placing it on the MG. And here's my next 5-year plan.
Oh my god, that's a rabbit hole and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Okay. Is that what else you got there, John?
I think that's it. I think we're done for the top 5 of my round. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so that was a lot of, you know what, I was actually surprised as well, very, very pleased and surprised about the different types of mechs. I don't think any one of us overlapped.
No overlap.
And, same similar images, which is kind of good. And again, like as I mentioned in the show earlier on, it was kind of like a random topic that we kind of selected. And it was kind of like, I think what I told these guys were like, yeah, just select 5 mecha of whatever you like. we'll just wing it. So that was wing it. Thank you for definitely pulling through on that one, guys. And more of these types of topics to come. I mean, John,
exactly.
Why don't you talk about a little bit of what are the future shows are going to be like?
Well, I mean, we want to keep it generic in terms of style, right? So we're talking about mecha, we're going to talk about anime, we're going to talk about stuff, and honestly, it's all about being creative in terms of those subjects. So I think we're going to like bring a lot more stuff. Like it's not just like top favorite, but also like point of views of different aspects, not just the hobby, but also in terms of shows. Just going around in all that is mecha.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, guys, thank you so much for contributing to, I guess this is not even a pilot episode. This is just like pre-pilot episode. Next week, 21st, will be our official numbered counted episode. We're probably gonna try sneak one more in there. I don't know if it's gonna be this weekend, maybe Tuesday.
Sure. Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. So guys, don't forget to, if you guys, this is the first time in the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But first, why don't we say thank you to our proud powered sponsors and partners for the show. I just want to say a big thank you to MSMN Studio, guys. Check them out, www.msmnstudio.com, if you guys are looking for some really cool kits, tools, and everything else in between. Check them out, guys. As well as this show is powered by USA Gundam Store. Visit usagundamstore.com and save when you use the discount code AOMECA10. Follow them on their socials. And yeah, thank you so much for contributing to the show. And I mean, that was it. Like final thoughts. Let's do a roundtable on this one. Quinn, what do you think of the show, and what kind of future topics would you like to see?
Yo, it was fantastic. I love seeing such a broad view of mechs. Stuff I hadn't seen before, stuff I had seen before that I got a closer look at and different perspective. Personally, I want to see how a miniature paint goes down from someone who hasn't done miniature painting before.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's calling out on me because he wants me to. Both of us now, because you have a miniature that I be picking up.
Painting, I want to see that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Thank you for that. Nate, what do you think? What do you think of the show, and maybe what future topics would you like to discuss or see in the show, or hear in the show, rather?
I love the format. I mean, it's so chill just talking with you guys about like anything and everything. Really, I would say maybe we just pick one like Gundam show and we just like dissect that or something.
Yep.
Even
That's
like
it's in the works. Yeah, we're gonna go. Okay, one of the plan long term, right? It's gonna go one show by show and just analyze like the opinions. But
it's gonna be like another thing that we mentioned that with John is like at the end of the month kind of thing. Like our last episode of the month, we will be talking about a particular show. That way, we could cycle through and not repeat it in too much. But yeah, like I think it's gonna be that's definitely in the works for sure. What's your favorite show that you would like to talk about? Maybe we could start off with that, Nate. You got first dibs on that one.
Actually, I would love to have a talk about Gundam 0083.
Oh, of course, Nate, of course.
I wonder why. No, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. Beautiful. No, and guys, again, hopefully we would love to have you guys back on the show in future episodes. We're gonna work on schedules and all that. But for the viewers out there, both on Twitch and YouTube, more shows like this, very chill. We're gonna feature as many different types of topics, types of builders, and yet different POVs on almost everything mecha, gunpla, everything in between that we could talk about, that we actually talk about. It's kind of weird because like John and you guys, like when we chat offline, like either in a group chat
24/7 endlessly, like shoot shit about everything.
It's everything.
Exactly. John, what do you think of the how did your show go today? What do you think?
Amazing! I think we keep the format. We go forward into more detailed stuff, broadening the subjects, and just like showing the crowd where what happens in the fanatic behind the door stuff.
Mhm. Absolutely. And guys, if you guys have any questions, suggestions for topics, or if you want to be even part of the show, open invite. If you guys are interested in being the show, drop me a DM, PM, and all my socials at Mecca, or contact John. Don't contact Quinn. He's useless as shit. All right. He's busy. No, he's a busy man. But like, feel free to do that. Again, all the links are in the description below. So, or was it? Oh no, I didn't put in the description below. You know who I am. You know where to find me. If you see this face on social media, that's probably me. Big thank you to everybody that's tuning in tonight, both on Twitch and YouTube. Again, it was kind of a shotgun approach episode tonight, and I'm very happy and pleased at how it turns out.
Yeah, it's just a test, right? It's just a test. Yeah. It's a very successful test.
We're talking about tests. This is a test. This is field use already. We're good to go. I think the next future episodes, we're just gonna start hammering away on it. It's gonna be awesome. We do have a couple of last comments here. Let's see here. From Rani, philosophies of main protagonists of each series would be deep. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I like this. I really like this suggestion. From
complex.
Exactly.
Ben Boyd, great format. Thank you so much, Ben. Recent addition to the channel. Has been following it as well in the last while. So thank you for that. Great to get that feedback from you. And let's see here. Suggestion number 2 from Rani. Broken Blade, Orgus 2, El Gaim. Oh, I want to talk about El Gaim. I think that's going to be fun.
All the models are coming out. Huh?
They are. I have those.
Yeah. Neon Wave, if we're going to talk about Escaflowne, we're going to have to talk about the movie as well. Let's see, another one here, Majestic Prince. Majestic Prince would be on that. Being that we're recording this on the streams, we're going to be able to circle back, John, I think, and pick these topics up and see if we can insert that into the future shows and conversation. I think it's going to be a great way to do it. And a couple of last comments here. And the other way too, the main antagonist and philosophy. See, here's the thing that I love living in the gray region, because I could understand where the villains come from in that regards. Whereas I think they're just good, you know?
Oh yeah, super robots. I guarantee we're going to talk about super robots, because I'm a fanatic, and I think they're the grandparents, like the original robots, the mecha that like basically triggered like the movement, right? So unavoidable super robots.
Yep, and actually robots in video games I think would be, or mecha in media I think would be another good one there. If we're gonna add that in. From Mo here, Transformer, mecha, maybe.
Mecha.
Oh, it's not mecha. Wait, I don't know. We'll put that in the maybe list. Yeah, we'll do that.
What's Transformers?
All right, you're out. We're out. Why don't we say bye, or do our final say from all of us here, and then we'll say bye to the audience. So, Quinn, any final words for our audience tonight?
Keep building, keep at it, crush that backlog.
That's it. Nate, what do you got?
Thank you guys so much for coming. You know, it's awesome. I can't wait to see everyone again.
That's right. John, how about you? Final words for our audience tonight, man.
Final words. They're the basically projecting for the next episode. Keep up keep following us. See what else we have to talk about. All the shooting the shit, and we're gonna keep talking more and more about mecha in general and everything that has to do with it. So
we're gonna be shooting the shit still. That's what's gonna happen. Mecha, pew 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 pew. That's all I got. Awesome. And again, guys, thank you for tuning in. We're going to try to do this. It's going to be on a weekly schedule for moving forward. It's going to be Thursdays around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Tonight is 9 o'clock, but we're probably going to move that to 8 depending on our schedules. But around that time would be it. I just want to say thank you again, guys. And like what everybody says here, keep at it, keep moving forward, enjoy the hobby, enjoy the community. Let's chat. Let's have a conversation next time. We would love to see you guys all again. So thank you. All right, that's it for us. Good evening, guys. Good morning where you are. Have a good night. Till next time.
Bye, everyone.